So let's talk about warm-ups. Now I feel like warm-ups are a bit of like a pendulum. Like you are either very into them and completely overdo them and turn them into a huge waste of time, or you just completely ignore them. So I want to get everybody back here towards the center. So let's set the stage here. Yes, warm-ups are just something that you need to get through in order to get started with training. But it is also important to consider that they are important if you want to get the most out of your training. They accomplish two things. First, they prime our bodies, raise our core temperature and get everything moving. Okay, feeling good, feeling warmed up, getting a little bit of sweat going is a good thing to do before you actually start training hard. Second of all, and incredibly important for sports that require like high-end skills like throwing, Olympic weightlifting, gymnastics, they also prime your CNS and get you moving the right way. This is why oftentimes the first few sets don't feel that good, because you're still warming up, your CNS is still like priming itself and getting ready for the work that's to come. Okay, this is also incredibly important for conditioning sessions. Okay, you want to get that first like burst of like high effort out of the way on your warm-ups before you actually move into your test. And this is especially true the better you get, because now there's more muscle. Now you will be pushing harder. There's more things that need to fall into place. All your systems are bigger. They need more time. You will be using more energy. You will be digging deeper. Okay, so you need more time and better methods to warm up and get ready to truly express your best performance. So sometimes people will be like, I don't know, something feels off today. I just don't feel great. And I'm like, no. Your max is 195 and you went 45, 135, 185, 205. That's what's wrong. Plus the 135 and the 185 were terrible reps and you're complaining why you can't just get 205. Like, listen, especially when it comes to a lot of the high-end skills like Olympic weightlifting, you need good reps and you need work and you need to get everything firing if you're really hoping to like express your peak effort, your peak strength. So you need to take your warm-up seriously, but it's also important to just not waste time. So here's how you do it. If you show up and you're extremely sore and tight, you can do some mobility work. Nothing wrong with that. 3 to 5 minutes should be plenty, okay? You can also do some cardio just to get everything going. You don't have to, but once again, it won't hurt you. Can you start warming up with the movements? Absolutely. Can you skip the bands and the foam rollers and all of that? Absolutely. I'm gonna say this though. If you're an athlete, truly training hard and truly trying to push, you probably will have 1, 2, maybe 3 days in a training block that are really going to suck. You're gonna show up beyond tired, beyond exhausted, and there will be some work that you need to get done. And on those days, you might need 10-15 minutes of foam rolling and warming up just to feel like you can get through the training session. Life's not predictable. If you're an athlete playing like field sports, you'll have games that are just tough. Like shit like that will happen, okay? It's not the end of the world. So be patient with yourself on those days. If you need 30 minutes to warm up, take 30 minutes to warm up. Hopefully your session is not that long, because if you're showing up that tired, the session ahead is probably not gonna be that hard, okay? So you can maybe afford to take the time. Now, if you're showing up beat up every single day, something needs to change. Something is going wrong. You're doing something wrong, and you need to address whatever it is that's causing you to feel like that every single day. So some mobility, some like light cardio, and then get into some activation is completely normal, but it should not take you more than 10, maybe 15 minutes before you actually get into your working movements. I don't see anything wrong with that. Once again, you don't really need it. You can just jump straight back into back squatting with the bar, body weights, if you have back today. Completely fine. Once you're done warming up, you have some sweat going, you feel good and primed, you can actually start like ramping up. Now, if you're doing like powerlifting movements or Olympic weightlifting movements, it's extremely important to actually pay attention to your technique and form during these warm-up sets, okay? I know that I, for one, sometimes program like prep sets, with some like light complex sets to trying to work on some of the things that we do wrong, okay? These sets are important, and it's important for you to take them seriously and for every single rep to be as good as it can be. These are all amazing reps that you can be getting in with good form and good technique, because the weights are light, and then just add up to your backlog and the volume that you're doing of reps that are essentially are improving your technique, okay? These are a great tool that so many people overlook. You could just be accruing volume. You could be doing like 100 snatches over the course of like a month, okay, at 135. That's 100 reps you're getting in. That is so much good work that you're just missing out because you just want to rush through the sets. So take the sets seriously as you ramp up. Two things to consider here. If your goal is on the hypertrophy realm, chances are that your working sets are gonna be bigger, like sets of 6, 8, 10, you know, maybe as low as 5. You know, but at the end of the day, you are not trying to maximize the loading on the bar, you're trying to maximize the amount of effort that you put it in the sets. Okay, so you can be a little more lenient with your warm-ups, meaning that you can just feel a little bit more of a burn, you can tire yourself a little bit before you go into your heavy sets. Okay, there's not much to worry about in here. Now, if you're a power lifter, a weightlifter, or if you're just training for strength, the loading on the bar does matter. So you want to minimize fatigue on your warm-up sets. You do not want to be doing sets of 8 all the way up to your working sets, okay? You want to get a good general warm-up, feel good, and then go up in doubles, maybe triples. By the time you get close to your working sets, you might want to just hit a couple singles. And that's really it. Then you go into your working sets, especially if you're maxing out. If you're maxing out, just go up in singles, okay? Spend as little energy as you can moving up the weights. And in both of the situations, you can do like potentiation sets, which are sets about 90% of your working load. If you're doing hypertrophy work, you can actually use your working load. Like if your working sets are like, I don't know, 3x10 at 315, you can load up 315 on the bar and do a double before you actually move into your working sets to like get ready for that weight. You know, if you're doing a single snatch at 110 or you're trying to PR today, you're not just gonna like try the weight, you're gonna go for the rep. So you're more than likely, your potentiation set is gonna be around like 90, maybe 95%. And lastly, for conditioning, like I said earlier, you do want to get a little bit out of breath, okay? So especially if you're doing like a hard test, you're running like a Cooper, you're doing like a yo-yo test, or like, what do they call it? The Bronco test. You want to get out of breath, okay? During the warm-ups. Just a quick effort, you know, like 10, 20 seconds at a pretty tough pace. You know, you want that first like out of breath feeling to be in the warm-ups. You don't want to feel that during the event, okay? You want to kick in all of your energy systems and essentially be primed and ready to go. So warm up, ramp up, try to push for like 10, maybe 20 seconds, depending on how comfortable you are with that. Once, maybe twice, definitely not more than twice, and then rest like 3 to 5 minutes, probably like 3 minutes, and then hit your test. And that should be good. And you do the same thing even if you're just having a tough workout, like during your warm-up. Get a little bit out of breath, get everything going, rest, start hitting the workout. And I promise you, you will see the best results. You know, like I said, if you're new to all of this, then it probably doesn't matter. But if you're an advanced athlete, like if you've been training for 3 to 5 years, this is how you should be approaching training. Like, take your warm-up seriously. All right, and that's the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys got something useful out of it. Leave me any questions in the comments. And yeah, there is a link below to Clusters, which is just an email that I send out every week with like stories and anecdotes from the last like 20 years of training. Everything that I learned for the week, during the month. I just share a lot in there. So feel free to sign up. It's free. It will always be free and easy to unsubscribe if I get annoyed for some reason. Hopefully not, but all right, thanks for watching.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.